When a super empath goes supernova, this is how they can permanently destroy narcissists. One of the reasons super empaths are considered the most powerful types of empaths is because of their incredible empath supernova, which allows them to counteract the effects of being around narcissists. The name comes from the spectacular explosions produced by huge stars at the end of their lives, known as supernovas. Like a super empath who has been subjected to narcissistic abuse, the star's nuclear energy burns fiercely hot despite the fact that the star itself appears diminished and lifeless. If you look closely, you can see cracks, but it only means they're poised to blow. If you're interested in learning more about the empath supernova, the most devastating occurrence against a narcissist's ego, you will see it all in today's video. There is an initial phase during which super empaths become aware of the abuse patterns. After being subjected to a certain amount of gaslighting or other manipulations by a narcissist or other abusive type, a super empath will begin to recognize a pattern. With their elevated sense of self-worth, super empaths may swiftly identify when their tolerance has reached its limit. When the super empath looks back on all the times they gave in to the narcissist's destructive conduct after being duped by their guilt trips or fake apologies, they begin to see a pattern and see the situation for what it is. They start to scrutinize the narcissist's every word for hidden meanings of betrayal or devaluation, increasing their vigilance and skepticism. When they're treated badly, their star power builds up inside them until it finally bursts out. In the second phase, they analyze everything they know about the narcissist in order to discover a way to injure them. As the trauma of repeated abuse takes its toll, the super empath may reflect on their past with the offender. Whether it's a parent, a friend, or a romantic partner, the super empath begins looking for instances in which the abuser was caught lying. This could be because the abuser was vulnerable to certain critiques or proud of certain achievements, and the person fears that these flaws will be exploited. The super empath isn't sure what they will do with the information at this point, and in the beginning, the concept of utilizing it to injure the narcissists sounds impossible. On the other hand, as we'll see in the following section, their soft benevolence eventually dies out. Thirdly, they stop feeling empathy and start acting cold and bitter. As more time is spent around the toxic narcissist, who absorbs their empathy for their own narcissistic supply, the empath will turn cold and bitter. They no longer recoil in horror at the prospect of inflicting pain on someone they care about and instead develop a craving for doing so. Now they appear lifeless and unresponsive to their abuser's attempts at devaluation or manipulation. The narcissist may mistakenly believe that they have completely destroyed the empath. They believe they have extinguished their passion and creativity, turning them into another trophy for their collection. However, a powerful empath will not let their passion go out without a spectacular display. The empath supernova explosion is about to start. After a while, super empaths start turning the narcissist's own tactics back on them. The super empath starts to imitate the narcissist's behavior when it isn't tempered by the ordinary empathy that normally guides them. Light teasing about a stain on the narcissist's clothing or gaslighting them by calling them dumb for believing their favorite TV show is awful. Soon, though, they become harsher as they experience the same exhilaration the narcissist has enjoyed their entire existence. By mimicking the Helgoe empath's mirroring response to the narcissist's harmful behavior, they can eventually break the cycle. They turn their empathy and knowledge of the narcissist's weaknesses against the narcissist, igniting their supernova energy. They will use everything they've ever learned about the narcissist to their advantage, and they'll know just when and how to push their buttons. In the fifth stage, the empath's confidence and sense of self-worth flourish. As the super empath witnesses, the narcissist's boundaries tremble under the strain of the narcissist's mental acrobatics. The super empath's self-assurance and kinetic force explode. Once upon a time, they were nothing more than a shell with a single ember within it. However, they're gaining more and more confidence after each victory against the narcissist. The super empath gets a shot in the arm. They consider this life to be a second chance at enacting karmic payback. Each mental victory provides a catharsis that only serves to fuel the empath further. The super empath starts to remember who they were before they met the narcissist. The abuse victim recalls their own interests, values, and principles rather than those of their tormentor. An opportunity to start over, free from the draining effects of pleasing a narcissist, presents itself. Before, they are afraid of moving on without the narcissist because they are so reliant on them, whether as a parent or in a romantic relationship. Even scarier, though, is what needs to come first: the final narcissistic wrath. Despite the fact that it's terrible to harm someone you previously loved or still love deeply, super empaths realize it's the only way to survive. Once a picture of a promising future appears in a super empath's head, they have no choice but to pursue it. Stage 6. They remain in their empath supernova phase until the ultimate narcissistic fury, during which they stop offering the narcissist any validation at all and become brutally honest. The super empath is currently cruel. Exactly like the narcissist they reflect, the once innocent, lovely empath has become a hardened, cynical, and nasty version of themselves. There is no longer any hint of praise, only the unfiltered truth of the super empath's abiding resentment. At some point, the narcissist will start their final rage without realizing it will be their last. They are confident in their ability to counter the empath's supernova. In the end, though, the super empath will reveal their true narcissistic selves. Since the empath's newfound confidence is genuine, it will strengthen their defenses to the point where they will be even more resilient than the narcissist. The narcissist will unleash their fiercest vocabulary and worst tone at the super empath. Expecting the super empath to cave and beg for forgiveness, they will unleash their whole arsenal of malice in the hopes of forcing them back into their old shell. A super empath, however, shows no signs of movement or alarm. They are privy to the narcissist's innermost thoughts and are aware that the insults are meaningless to them. At this point, the super empath's largest advantage over the narcissist is that they don't place a high value on their ego. They have a quiet assurance about them. Despite the gaslighting they suffered at the hands of the narcissist, they recall the person they used to be and are confident in their own goodness. A lack of reaction to the narcissist's best efforts is shocking to them. Once the supernova is ready to go on its final act, the empath will go off like a bomb. The narcissist's every vulnerability is exploited. Their every fear is reflected back to them. The narcissist mounts a defense, but the super empath has been in the supernova state for so long that they have gathered evidence against every possible defense. When the narcissist's reserves are drained, the super empath takes over. Their ego can't tolerate honest criticism anymore. Every rebuke is like a shot of venom through their veins. When confronted with their own reflection for the first time, narcissists are terrified of the super empath. They have come to terms with the fact that the empath has stolen all their tricks, and that this, coupled with their own indomitable willpower and pride, makes them unstoppable. In this new role, the narcissist will be the one groveling and pleading for mercy. They say they are open to change. As for the empath, they've heard it all before. They deliver the finishing blow of rejection at this point, the last piece of the puzzle needed to bring down the narcissist. The narcissist, having been exposed and broken down by the empath, usually runs away, leaving the empath in peace. Once the narcissist has been annihilated, the super empath may worry that their empathetic abilities will be permanently damaged. The fear is that even after demonstrating their supernova condition and escaping the narcissist's abuse, the super empath might be unable to completely eradicate any residual narcissistic tendencies, and this is a terrifying prospect. A frigid bitterness remains in their bodies, and the warmth they previously felt hasn't returned. When talking to their pals, they become more cynical and snarky, and they may even find themselves being manipulative. Some people call this feeling narcissistic fleas. When a person is subjected to abuse over a long period of time, they begin to take on the characteristics of their abuser. They need to do this in order to conduct the empathic supernova. Thus, it stands to reason that they might have trouble recovering afterward. If you or someone you know have experienced abuse and are struggling with feeling the way you used to beforehand, we highly recommend talking to a therapist. Narcissistic abuse is particularly harmful since it can have long-lasting effects on a person if they are not equipped to deal with it. Stage 8. They mature and emerge stronger as a result of their ordeal. It is only when the super empath has gotten away from the situation and sought out professional help or the comfort of friends and family that they will start to feel like themselves again. Though the super empath must accept the fact that they will never be the same person they were before their development, they can still learn to appreciate their former self. A person's personality can shift after experiencing abuse. The experience may leave them feeling jaded, but this is actually a sign of their resilience, not a lack of compassion. After defeating the narcissist, they feel that they've gained wisdom, confidence, competence, and the certainty that they'll never again let another narcissist through their defenses. Please let me know if this brief explanation has been helpful to you. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the space provided below. Subscribe to this channel and toggle the notification bell on if you're interested in hearing more about empaths. When a new video is uploaded, you will be the first to know. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this short video. Thanks.